Good afternoon, YouTube. Fazbearlegend53 here. This video has been delayed by 2 days because the day this is originally supposed to go up, Tuesday afternoon, I missed my bus home and had to stay at the school to catch a ride and didn't get a ride home till about 4 o'clock, and that would have made it impossible to record a video in time. And on Wednesday, I had a surprise after-school rehearsal for a band program, so yeah, fun. But anyway, today I think it's obvious what we're going to be reviewing. Sorry if I'm in a little a little piss mood. Excuse my French. I had just about finished recording this video and I got a phone call in the middle of recording it, so I lost that entire video. So we're going to start new. Today we're going to be reviewing my EMD E7a from Proto 2000 that I got off eBay. This cost me about $90. It's not brand new, but it is DCC, or not DCC, DC, and it runs perfectly. I've got to tell you, I haven't found any errors with it. So we'll be going over details. I'll show you some special features it has, and then we'll be running a short passenger train, if you want to call it short. It's 7 cars long. Anyway, on with the details. Alright, starting with the front of the unit, we have dual headlights. The top light is a Mars light, the bottom light is just a headlight. You have two separately applied grab irons, both beside the door and on the plow. You have a KD knuckle coupler, which is not original to the model. It was installed by the previous owner. You have the Southern Railway logo, and of course the paint. I forgot to mention that earlier. This is a very, very beautiful paint scheme. And I've heard it called multiple names, but the most current name that I know it by is the Southern Railway Pelican paint scheme. So that's what I'm going to refer to this as. You've got your two number boards, running number 2905, both sides of the nose, and then you've got two etched windshield wipers on the cab. On top of the cab, you have two dueling A200s facing either direction, so you have that coverage. Anyway, onto the side of the unit for that. Moving to the side of the unit, you have the side of the cab door, and two grab irons. This is the only complaint I have, is that these two grab irons are broken, where if you get an item and you move them, you can clearly tell they're broken, but at a passing glance, you can let it slide. Your paint scheme continues down the engine, of course it would, and something I want to point out that's a great feature for a model of this age is the fact that I think this came out like maybe early 2000s, just before 2000. So it's somewhat old by today's standards. But it does have an amazing feature. That feature being almost all the doors except the front door. All the doors on this model open. Now this one, of course, isn't going to open all the way because you have all your internal bits inside. So it would be cutting into the drivetrain if I wanted to open it all the way. Something I want to point out, since I made this error, sorry, I'm going to blind you for a second here. Oof. You have these beautiful, beautiful details on the trucks. I can't find any problems with them. They look amazing. And something else I'm going to point out, so I don't forget it later, is you have the F on the front, signifying this being the front. I'd be concerned if that was on the other end, and you were running this long and forward. Anyway, moving on down the hood. Alright, we're more towards the midsection of the locomotive now, with the fuel tank being right here. You have the Southern Railway logo right here, beautifully applied. You have another midway door, if you want to call it that. This one, of course, opens, but I'm not going to try and open it all the way, because it's a little booger where it's a pain to close. Moving down the engine again, we get towards the rear. Now, towards the rear, you may have realized that I moved the camera closer. This is so you can see onto the roof. Onto the roof, we have the steam generator details, prototypical of any passenger unit at that time. And you have the running number right here above the frame, beside these two grab irons. There's no door here, just to remind you of that. A quick glance on top, since I forgot to do this when I was doing the side, you see your two exhaust systems for both prime movers. I do believe the E7s had dueling 567Bs. Might be 567Cs. I forget which. Anyway, let's move on to the very rear of the locomotive. On the very rear of the locomotive, you have your diaphragm, which does swing back and forth, which is a pretty cool feature for when the train's going around curves and it's connected to a B unit. You have another KD coupler, again, not factory installed, but a retrofit. You've got grab irons on both sides and an entire ladder on here, made of grab irons, on this side of the door. You've got air hoses along the bottom here. I don't know. You can see them on this side, but not this side, but they are there. I will tell you that. Something I forgot to mention when I was doing the view on top, but also, yeah, that's pretty much the rear. Something I forgot to mention while I was doing the view on top is you have all these lift rings, which were beautifully applied, but I'm sadly missing two. One here and one there. Again, nothing I'll really cry over. Oh, I'm missing a third. Oh well. Okay, now let's get the train running. I have, of course, my passenger train, which I mentioned that she's going to be pulling. Yes, that's 7 cars. That's the entirety of my newer passenger set. And I'll have to turn her around to get her running this, so give me a second and I'll be right back. Alright, now that we've got the train set up to run, some features I want to point out while she's running is at first it may look like the headlight's flickering. Now, I thought it was flickering at first, and then I realized something. This is probably my favorite feature of the locomotive. Being just DC, they've managed to put a Mars light into it. Now, unfortunately, the Mars light provides the light for both the Mars light and also the headlight. So the headlight does flicker, but it does still give off the Mars light illusion, which looks wonderful. Another quick little gripe about this is because since the shell isn't entirely closed off, the light from the headlight does shine down onto the track. But that's something that can be easily forgiven for its age. Because, trust me, when you see this thing run, how smooth and quietly it runs, it'll be worth it. Anyway, let's slowly bring her up to a crawl. There she goes. Oh, you're dead? No? Okay. As I said, she runs perfectly. I love this unit so far, and I've only had it for... Today's day 4, and I'm in love with it already. Anyway, I'll get this train up to speed, and I'll have a few run-bys. While the train's running by, I'm going to have a quick conversation with you guys. Let's get that a little faster. So, as you might have known, my Walther's F unit, the B unit that I got out of that pair, recently died on me. So I contacted Walther's about this, and they told me to contact Train World, which is where I bought the units from. So I've pretty much gotten a no from Walther's. I contacted Train World. They told me to contact the supplier, or contact the manufacturer of the locomotive. I told them I had, and that they had said they can't help me. And Train World also said, sorry, we can't help you. So I'm basically right now sitting with a $125 deficit in my room. I've got her in a box over there. I know you can't see where I'm pointing, but it's behind the camera. I've got her in her box, and right now I'm in the middle of trying to decide something. See, there's a train show coming up in June, and it's in Tennessee, at the East Tennessee State University, if anyone's interested. It's the first weekend in June. I'm going to be going, if anyone else wants to. And I'm trying to decide, because I know there's usually a DCC person who knows what they're doing, that I can talk with and try and figure out if there's a way to fix it. Because right now it's looking like I fried the decoder. And if there's not a way to fix it, here's plan B, and I want your opinion on this plan. See, what I'm thinking is, if I can't fix that, I'll pull the DCC decoder out, I'll pull the motor out, I'll pull everything out of that and make it a dummy. Because all I really need is just the A unit for power. So, I mean, it's a plan, but if there's any way to salvage that unit at this point, it's probably just going to be turning it into a dummy. Yeah, like I said, you probably could see it now, but the Mars light's going on it. I'm a little too late to point it out. I'll wait for it to come around one more time, and I'll end the video. So, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like. If you want more content, let me know in the comments, and be sure to subscribe when that content comes out. And as always, just stay safe, and do whatever makes you happy. I love you guys all. Bye.